Hello everyone. I wanted to talk about reopening old bugs in this video. And I want to make this video because it's a very common problem. And for some reason, I don't know why people who are using Jira, people who are responsible for bug or defect management, they keep on doing the same thing over and over again. So I thought I'll probably elaborate and talk about this. Now imagine you are working in a big company, and I'm trying to give you this example because I worked for a client where they had exactly the same issue. Now imagine you are working for a very big company with a lot of people involved, and that company has a product. Let us say a product. And whenever we talk about products, for each and every product, usually there is a version, right? Like version 3.2.1, version 3.2.2, and so on, right? Now, these versions or these different versions of your products will go live. There is a release date, and there is also some kind of end of support, right? So I'm just trying to give you this background. Imagine you have these different versions. This version was version 3.2 is released in July, and for the next 2 years you will provide support. So there is like a range that you have. Then there is version 3.3. In between, of course, you will have minor, like maybe minor versions or patches. This is of course not simple thing to manage because someone has to maintain this in Jira in a version field, for example, right? And of course, these versions are important because these versions will also help your product management team, your account managers, your sales team members, your technical account managers. It will also give them an idea about when a particular version will be released, and you will basically get feedback from your customers. They will be asking for new features. They will be asking for some fixes, and then you might have an upgrade path for them, something like what we do in Jira. Now, the thing is, when you have these things that you have to manage, especially for product management, then you will have to worry about your bugs, and you will then need to have some kind of a strategy around bug management or defect management in Jira. Now, imagine you have these bugs getting raised in Jira for version 3.2.1. So when someone raises a ticket, they will raise a ticket for a particular version, and that particular bug will be resolved, right? Let us say end user is complaining about certain feature not working or some mismatch in numbers. So you will ask them to raise a ticket, or someone will raise a ticket somewhere, but it will be raised against a particular version. Now, what will happen, or what can happen, is the same bug also appears in a different version in future. In that case, I've seen this a lot. People go to the old bug and they reopen it. Now, when they go to the old bug, the bug was reported in 3.2.1, and the bug was fixed in 3.2.3, for example. So you have, of course, affected version, then you have fixed version, and then when you reopen the same bug, it will cause a lot of problem. And people usually reopen old bugs because or especially people who don't really understand Jira, or maybe it has nothing to do with Jira, but people who are into product management, or maybe a bit more higher level, like they are not always technical, they they accept this as a normal thing to do. You should not let your developers reopen the same old bug for the same version and for the same fixed version, I guess. You should always create a new one. When you reopen, let us say the same bug appears again for the same version, right? So yes, you can potentially reopen it, and I think bug reopening should only be allowed as long as it is not released, right? As long as your branch is not merged back. I think once your branch is merged back uh, to your production main branch, then you should close the bug, and that is it, right? So just wanted to share that when you reopen your bugs, your reports are messed up because you don't really know, or you will never know for sure whether this particular bug was fixed in this version or not. I think when you make it a habit to reopen, then it will keep your reports clean. It will ensure that there is a proper accountability. You will be able to properly do debugging and create some kind of a mapping that, yeah, these bugs were reported in these three versions. I mean, when you're raising a bug, if you have that knowledge, maybe select all the versions, all the affected versions for which the bug is there. But that won't happen always, right? You will obviously come to know about the same bug in a different version. So this is something that I thought I'll talk about a bit more in detail. And I know when you reopen the same bug, you might want to duplicate the information. I think you should always keep it open, or let your developers create a clone of your existing closed bugs, because that will of course give you a copy, and it will also create a link. And when you have a link between old bug and new bug, then you will of course be able to do some kind of a mapping or reporting out of it. So I thought I'll probably talk about these things. It has nothing to do with Jira, but because Jira is involved, and you need to do things properly. So don't reopen your old bugs. Always create a new one. And by the way, you can always have in your workflow a state called done and then closed. When you resolve your bugs, move it to done and close it once it is live, once the fix is there. So when you close it, make sure you have like a property in the status workflow property to make your bugs non-editable, right? So that is all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.